Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're jumping into a really fascinating story. It's about multicultural beauty, a Canadian pageant system that's been making some waves.
Yeah, and we've got some great material to work from. There's an interview with the founder, Malou Esparagoza, in World Class Beauty Queens magazine, and also a feature on the Behind the Crown podcast. So pretty good insight there.
Absolutely. And this is really for you if you're interested in how, movements for empowerment actually get started right from the ground up.
Or even just what it genuinely means to champion diversity, not just talk about it. Plus, we get a bit of an inside look at modern pageantry, but with a different kind of focus.
And the person behind it all is Malou Esparagoza. Her background is, well, pretty interesting. She's worked in mental health, community support.
Right, and she's also got pageant experience herself. Mrs. Filipinas Canada 2017, and Lady Belleza International in 2018. So she knows that world.
Definitely. So we're going to unpack how what sounds like a single act of service kind of snowballed, really.
Yeah, into this significant platform that's all about celebrating diversity and empowering people from all sorts of backgrounds.
Okay, so let's get into the genesis story. How did this all kick off? It seems like it started with helping out at a Little Miss pageant.
That's right. Back in 2023, it was organized by an entrepreneurs association up in Alberta. And apparently the response was just huge.
Really? So people were asking for more.
Exactly. Overwhelmingly positive feedback, loads of requests for similar events. And that positive push is what led to the official launch of Multicultural Productions not long after.
Wow. It really shows how something small, just helping out, can spark something much bigger, doesn't it?
It really does. And it sounds like Malou's motivation wasn't just, oh, let's put on another pageant. It ran deeper.
Yeah, her background in mental health and community work, plus her own pageant time, that must have given her a unique viewpoint.
I think so. It seems she saw a real gap, a need for a space where diversity was, genuinely the main event, not just a side note.
Especially drawing from her frontline work.
Yeah, particularly working with vulnerable populations during the pandemic. That likely gave her a real profound sense of the importance of belonging, of having your voice validated.
So she wanted to build something that would lift people up, let them embrace who they are with pride.
Precisely. Not about conforming, but celebrating what makes each person unique.
So right from the start, the vision wasn't about the sort of traditional beauty contest focus.
Not at all. The core idea was always about creating this meaningful platform, celebrating cultural diversity, empowering everyone, connecting communities.
Through things like confidence, compassion, heritage.
Yes, exactly. Shifting that focus away from just the external and really highlighting, people's stories, their values, their identity.
Now, they often say multicultural beauty is more than just a pageant. What does that actually look like in practice?
Well, Malou herself defines it quite broadly. It's a platform, yes, but one created specifically to celebrate diversity, to uplift voices.
Empower people at all ages, backgrounds, cultures.
Right. And the emphasis is really on building confidence, that sense of cultural pride, leadership skills, and like we said, moving beyond those really narrow old school beauty standards.
That empowerment piece feels central. It's not about ranking people against an ideal.
No, quite the opposite. The system seems designed to showcase their journeys, amplify their voices, build that deep confidence that comes from their culture, their community.
And Malou's view on empowerment itself is interesting.
Yeah, the podcast mentioned her belief that it comes from, how we rise after falling, the stories we tell, the lives we lift up along the way. It's very holistic.
And the title holders, they're called ambassadors of purpose. That sounds pretty active.
It really does. It suggests they're not just wearing a crown, they're expected to lead.
Like community service projects, fundraising.
Exactly. Spearheading initiatives, representing charities. The whole system seems built around giving back, making a real impact. They even collaborate with local businesses, artists, other organizations to boost that effort.
Let's dig into Malou's own journey a bit more. Her values seem so tied into this whole thing. She started in pageants young, right?
Yeah, apparently encouraged by a teacher back in grade school, which, shows how important that early encouragement can be.
And then her own titles later on. Mrs. Filipinas Canada, Lady Belleza International.
Right. And then she even moved into coaching and directing internationally. So for her, pageantry seems to be a tool.
A tool for growth, for advocacy.
And for helping others find their own voice, their own kind of inner beauty. That's the sense you get.
But that frontline work in mental health and community support feels really foundational.
Oh, absolutely. Working with people facing homelessness, addiction, especially during the pandemic.
Yeah.
That kind of experience under organizations like Canadian Mental Health and Turning Point Society, it must give you such a deep understanding.
Of vulnerability, resilience.
Exactly. And it seems to have really cemented those core values of compassion and service that you see running through multicultural beauty. It's not theoretical for her, it's lived.
And this idea of leadership through service seems paramount.
Yeah, it's not just about achieving something on stage. Her varied background, even hospitality, seems to have taught her about empathy, connection.
True leadership being about serving others.
That seems to be her philosophy. It's about connecting with genuine empathy.
How does she talk about women's empowerment specifically? It sounds quite profound.
It really is. She talks about it as awakening the strength within every woman, creating spaces where women can, speak their truth, fully embrace their identity.
Without holding back.
Right. And she emphasizes using your voice, your experiences, to sort of light the way for others, turning struggles into strength, not just for yourself, but for the community.
Okay, so if someone's thinking of entering, say, the Multicultural Beauty Universe pageant. Who can participate?
Well, they make a big point of saying it's open to individuals of all ages, backgrounds, walks of life, really emphasizing that inclusivity.
So not one specific type they're looking for.
Definitely not. It's about that tapestry of individuals.
And the judging criteria, what are they actually looking at?
It's pretty comprehensive. There's a production number looking at stage presence, energy, swimsuit focusing on confidence, poise, fitness.
Okay.
Then cultural attire, which is huge, right? Representing heritage creatively. Evening gown for elegance and grace. And then the Q&A.
The question and answer part testing intelligence, personality, communication.
Exactly. It's a whole package looking beyond just the surface.
And the experience itself for contestants, is it supportive?
They really stress that. They frame it as potentially life-changing, empowering, unforgettable, creating this supportive sisterhood.
So things like workshops, rehearsals.
Yeah, workshops for skills, rehearsals for confidence, sponsor visits, photo shoots, talent showcases, and definitely community involvement, getting them connected.
And that charitable side isn't just optional, is it? Particularly for title holders.
Well, contestants are strongly encouraged to get involved beforehand. But yes, for the title holders, it becomes a core part of their role.
Representing advocacy through volunteering, supporting local causes.
Right. It really locks in that commitment to service.
What's the timeline usually look like for the competition?
Typically, about a month before the finals, they have a presentation of candidates and a talent competition, kind of an initial showcase.
Okay, a lead-up event.
Yeah. And then the final competition night itself is, well, it's a big event. Usually runs about 5 to 7 hours.
Let's shift to the community impact. Which charities are they actively supporting?
They work with some really key local organizations, Canadian Mental Health, Hope Mission, the Women's Emergency Shelter, and the Christmas Bureau.
So, covering a range of important needs.
Definitely shows a commitment to addressing diverse issues locally.
And we know about some specific initiatives they've run.
Yes, some concrete examples. In 2023, they had the Triumph fundraiser for the Women's Emergency Shelter.
Supporting vulnerable women. Okay.
Then in 2024, a toy and essentials drive for the Red Deer Christmas Bureau, helping kids at Christmas.
That's great.
And also in 2024, their first Multicultural Productions Gala Night raised funds, again for the Christmas Bureau. So turning celebration into tangible support.
The name itself, Multicultural Beauty, points to its cultural significance.
Oh, absolutely. It's a platform that doesn't just acknowledge diversity, it actively celebrates it. It's about honoring heritage, individual identity.
Fostering unity through understanding.
Exactly. Every participant brings a unique cultural story, and this space is designed to make sure those stories are seen, heard, and really valued. It's about bridging tradition and modern identity.
Showcasing global pride within Canada.
Nicely put, yeah.
And they're building support through sponsors, too.
Seems like it. A growing network of sponsors who buy into the mission. That support is obviously vital for the events, the prizes, and boosting those charitable efforts. It shows the wider community is invested, too.
So, looking forward now, what's on the horizon for 2025?
The plan is definitely continued growth, deepening the impact. They want to elevate the Miss Teen, and Mrs. Pageants further.
More cultural showcases, leadership workshops.
Yes, and more purpose-driven projects for the title holders during their reigns. They're also aiming to expand partnerships to support even more causes.
And the bigger picture, the long-term vision. Malou has some ambitious goals.
Very much so. The big goal is evolving into a registered nonprofit organization.
Okay, that's a significant step.
It is, and that would open doors for things like scholarships, global collaborations, maybe even diversity-focused conferences. The aim is to make it a sustainable, powerful platform for representation and unity long term.
And finally, the legacy question. What does Malou hope multicultural beauty is remembered for?
It sounds like she wants it remembered as a true movement, one built on purpose, empowerment, and unity through diversity.
Where people, especially women and youth, found their voice.
Exactly, found their confidence, and felt inspired to rise up and inspire others in turn. That ripple effect of positive change.
So wrapping this up, it's really clear that multicultural beauty, started by Malou Esparagoza just back in 2023, is genuinely more than a standard pageant system.
Yeah, it's a movement, isn't it? Built on celebrating diversity, empowering people, serving the community.
From those quite humble grassroots beginnings, helping out at that one event.
To this really ambitious vision for the future. It just highlights how one person's passion, that commitment, can actually create significant change.
And for you listening, especially if you're drawn to understanding how these empowerment movements get built and sustained.
This deep dive really gives you a concrete example, a look at how that commitment to inclusivity and service shapes an organization and, touches so many lives.
It makes you think, doesn't it?
It really does. And maybe a final thought for you to consider. Look around at your own daily life, your interactions, your spaces. How are opportunities for diverse voices to be heard and celebrated being fostered there?
Or maybe even what small act of service could you potentially initiate? Something that might just spark a larger wave of empowerment in your own community or circle.
Straight, but the path I chose led me to this twisted state. Every step I take, the shadows start to sway. I'm lost inside the maze, can't seem to find my way. Caught up in the spiral, spinning round and round. Every turn I make, I'm falling to the ground. A tangled web of thoughts, I can't seem to unwind. This twisted world I'm in is messing with my mind. Twisted like the vines that grow around my heart, tearing me apart, leaving every scar. I'm twisted in the night, wrapped up in the dark, trying to break free, but I don't know where to start. Twisted, oh, I'm twisted. The mirror shows a face I barely recognize, a stranger looking back with haunted hollow eyes. The truth is twisted up, I can't tell what is real. Lost inside a dream that I can't help but feel. Caught up in the spiral, spinning round and round. Every turn I make, I'm falling to the ground. A tangled web of thoughts, I can't seem to unwind. This twisted world I'm in is messing with my mind. Twisted like the vines that grow around my heart, tearing me apart, leaving every scar. I'm twisted in the night, wrapped up in the dark, trying to break free, but I don't know where to start. Twisted, oh, I'm twisted. I reach out for the light, but it's too far away. The more I try to fight, the more I seem to stray. Caught in the confusion, I'm tangled in this fate, but somewhere in the madness, I'll find my way to break. Twisted, oh, I'm twisted. Twisted like the vines that grow around my heart, tearing me apart, leaving every scar. I'm twisted in the night, wrapped up in the dark, trying to break free, but